What's up, y'all? This is Carla, aka Seela the Poet, and I'm going to share a poem with you tonight. This poem doesn't have a title, and here goes. Some people are loved, and some are hated. Some people are chosen, while others rejected. No one ever wants to talk about the dark side and dichotomies of life. There are the haves and the have nots, the sinners and the saved, the wanted and the unwanted, the esteemed and the insulted, the admired and the mocked, the affirmed and the slandered. We are the loveless and no one sees us, the unseen, ignored, and paradoxes of society. Life is not always a beautiful poem, but can be a nightmarish roller coaster ride, filled with valleys, pits, dungeons, and very deep lows. Some guaranteed things, but also many unstable unknowns. Society accepts the mind control conformist who follows its systematic oppressive ways, while the rebels put up the middle finger to the madness and try to find their own path through revolution. The loved versus the hated, the accepted versus the rejected, the blacks and whites of this crazy life. There is an opposite and an opponent to everything. So I wrote that poem because, we're living in a time where there's a lot of racial injustice that's going on, from the police murders of unarmed black citizens to racist people calling the police on black people who aren't doing anything, to court cases where people that have been wrongfully treated and wrongfully murdered are not getting justice. Even the government institutions like the Department of Justice are complicit by not giving the families and the descendants of the people that they harm justice. And so I figured just write a poem, about the other side. In society, there's many things that are prized, but there are many groups of people that never really make the news. And, everybody is somebody. There are all types of people with all types of different experiences. And in my poem, I just kind of wanted to highlight, the other side, you know, the people that often don't get mentioned, which are the rebels, the outcasts, the paradoxes, the nerds, the weirdos, the freaks, and these are people that are unique. And these are also people that have their place in society, even if society doesn't embrace them. So I just figured make a poem about that. You know, I think we live in a society where the culture can be very, very influencing, but the problem with culture is that people often get led astray by culture and social fads. People follow after celebrities and, follow after things and sometimes end up losing their selves and losing their authentic selves, trying to kind of follow and take on identities that are not really theirs. So these are just things to think about, you know. It takes a lot of balls to be yourself in a world where there's a million voices screaming out for you to be this way, talk this way, wear your hair this way, wear these type of clothes, just so that you could be accepted by certain social circles and X, Y, and Z. And Authenticity should be prized, and it's not. Conformity is often prized, and conformity can sometimes make slaves out of people without them even knowing it, because they're always running after someone else's acceptance, someone else's approval. And in all actuality, sometimes you're running after these things, and the people that you're trying to get acceptance from and approval from, they don't deserve it, and they don't deserve you. So these are things that people should think about. But anyway, it's 2 days until New Year's, and I'm looking forward to the new year. 2020 has been a year of catastrophic loss and pain and hurt and grief. And I think that we should keep on praying and just be very mindful of practicing gratitude, during this very chaotic time. We need to keep praying for our nation, that the Lord, takes us in the right direction. We're going to have a new president, a new government. So we're hoping that even through these imperfect people, sometimes unfortunately corrupt people, that God's will still be worked out, and that in the new year, that God would have mercy on us and bring some relief to the COVID virus that has affected so many. May those who have lost someone, my condolences, may they rest in peace. To everybody that unfortunately has lost a loved one to this horrible virus. Shout outs to the healthcare workers and the frontline workers who put themselves at risk every day just to keep our nation going. May God bless you and your families. I appreciate the sacrifice. I appreciate what y'all do, and we couldn't make it through this thing without your hard work. So these are just things I'm thinking about. And yeah, just guys, let's just try to keep the faith. I know it's hard. I know there's a lot of things happening that we don't understand. I don't understand it all either. This is a really hard time for a lot of people, but we have to keep the faith. We can't give up. We can't let this thing just drag us down. We just have to keep finding our hope, our hope in something greater. And for me, that greater something is the Lord Jesus Christ. He's the one that continues to give me hope in the midst of circumstances that just seem dark, sad, sorrowful, and unbearable. So keep the faith, and I'll come out with new content soon. All right? Peace, y'all.